Hello everybody all over the world. Welcome to the Engineer Basics episode where we're going to look at the basics of Engineer, and we also had a bit of a contest today as well. So in case you are unaware, in the last episode of the Heavy Basics I said that when we were doing the Engineer episode we're going to have a contest to see who can build the fastest level 3 everything on bad water first. So strangely enough, we didn't have that many submissions today because it's an Engineer episode, and I'm kind of happy about it because Engineer episodes are usually extremely long because when you play Engineer and you play Engineer well, you tend to not die, like at all during a game. So let's have a look here. So we're gonna start off by seeing what gets you disqualified for doing this. So let's just get in here and look at the first submission of the Engineer challenge. So of course you have to do this by yourself, but of course this is Enigmas and we all know how this is gonna go. So he just builds a teleporter and then he runs out, swings his wrench, and then he gets air blasted and air blasted over here, and then he jumps up here and then he builds this and builds this, and then of course you open up the man versus machine and purchase some instant upgrade canteens, and look at that, 42 seconds left in the clock, but then it all gets destroyed. So that's probably one of the fastest way you could do it without using no clip or cheating, but he was cheating, so you're fucking disqualified, you idiot. So let's look at a second place of this challenge. It was of course T Dark Shadow. I hope I wrote that down right, and we'll see exactly what he does. So this is one of the faster loadouts. We're just gonna fast forward until the waiting for players part, and there we go. So the fastest possible build order, you need the Eureka effect and the Jag. There is no way around it. They are definitely the faster. So he goes for dispenser in spawn, teleporter in spawn, and then he's just gonna run out and go the fastest he can, and then you prepare the teleporter, and then you build the sentry. This is absolutely the fastest way to do so, because then you go back to spawn, and then you use your wrench to just upgrade everything. And of course here he wasted some time when the swings didn't connect. And yeah, this is MK to Dark Shadow. And of course the reason he's just refilling is that he's hitting the buttons that is his loadout. Like, you can do that, so there he goes. So that's that build, and then you just work on this. Hit that once. Looking to get everything to level 3 and ready. There we go. So he was 11 seconds. 11 seconds left on the clock. So that's a pretty decent time. Just keep in mind that you still have, you know, 11 seconds until the gates open, and then after the gates open, there's still some time before people will reach you. So it's not like super duper important that you absolutely have them ready as humanly possible. It is possible to have everything ready with just a normal wrench in due time if you position yourself and no soldier asshole steals your medal. So this is the winner. This is Dandy Belly Button, and we'll see exactly what he does differently to squeeze out the additional time, because 11 seconds is pretty good. So he actually builds the dispenser there instead of the sentry. So this is a bit different, but then also you can see that he isn't wasting any unnecessary swings. Like, no swings have gone astray here because he spent every single swing on this. And then he just goes through, so he only uses this once. He runs up here. And he's also, if he had placed a teleporter up here, he could have been even faster. And there we go, bam, level 3, 13 seconds left on the clock, beat the previous time by 2 seconds by doing it this way. And the reason they're different, like building dispenser and spawn dispenser in the field or vice versa, doesn't really matter. But what gave like a whole 2-second difference is that Dandy Belly Button had no wasteful swings. Like, every swing he did on a building did something, because keep in mind, if you upgrade a teleporter, there's a couple of swings where you won't actually hit it, and if you're using the Jag and you keep hitting it, you will actually waste an additional swing than if you used just the wrench. So the prize, of course, I said a prize, is just going to be a craft hat, because, you know, we're poor, don't have like unusuals to give away, so we're going to fabricate class specific headgear. So let's see if I have an engineer token. I don't. Shit. Ah, fuck. All right, let's make an engineer token real quick. Let's see, can I make it? Yeah, I think I can. I think I can make it. So, welcome to GPS tries to craft on stream because he forgot to prepare. So let's see here, fabricate tokens, yes. So I need, oh, whoops, that's wrong. Fabricate, where's the combined token? Shit. Chat, help me. How do I make a class token? Fabricate class token, yes, class token. So I need a weapon for the class that has to be God. Why is it like this? I don't know if I have spares. Where's the engineer stuff? I just, yeah, Thompson, sure. I can get one later. All right, so, and then we just need 3 engineer weapons. Okay, let's find another one. An engineer weapon. Let's see, engineer. Yeah, Eureka effect. Yep, there we go. And where's the last one? Do I have a third? The Widowmaker. All right, cool. So we're gonna make a class token. There we go. There's an engineer token. Man, I am good. And then we're gonna go fabricate class headgear, class token, engineer, refined metal, boosh, drum roll, brrr, and you win Teddy Roosevelt. Best hat. Perfect. Nice. So that was the super sweaty rushed version. So let's go into the engineer basics. Let's get that out of the way. Of course, we have, since there was a competition, we also have Enigmas submitting bullshit twice. So let's start with the bullshit, and then we'll go on to the more other stuff. So, of course, engineer basics. Here he is, just building sentry stuff in spawn. Moving out. There we go, fairly steady. You can see they're pushing on to the last point. And he's just working on this, upgrading it, you know, like you do upgrading it in spawn. Then he moves out, and then he looks in the sky, and it says,
Incompetence surrounds me!
And I was like, okay. And then he's surrounded by spies, and then they all blow up. And engineer basics, good stuff, perfect. All right. On a more serious note, let's look at the winner, Dandy Bella Button. He submitted a couple. And he's going to be using what's a pretty common loadout for engineers on attack, and that is the Gunslinger. Changes your sentry to a mini sentry, very useful indeed, also using this. So what are the engineer basics? Well, of course, you are the only class that can build stuff, like a physical building, like you are the only class that can create other entities in the game. So of course, having buildings is important. So that's one of the basic things, of course, building stuff. But building isn't enough. You have to maintain your buildings. That means you have to stay there. Because having a dispenser like here, in this position right here, the reason everyone puts it there is because it's super important and it works really well when you are in the front. Like this demo, like you can see in the team, no medic. Of course, there's a higher chance you have an engineer than a medic. So you'll actually be working as a part-time medic, getting this done. However, he is not maintaining his buildings as good as he can. Because right now, I would say the main thing he should be focusing on is this dispenser that is now only level 1. You can see he's spending a lot of time just running around doing pretty much nothing. But then he remembers, oh shit, I gotta repair, upgrade. Yeah, there we go, level 2, and get this to level 2, nice. Of course, you have no teammates that's willing to help you, but he's just staying around here. You can see that all his teammates are using this. And what's important here is that you are the most influential class in the entire game. And what I mean by that, I've said this before, is that where you place your teleporter is where your reinforcements will arrive, and where you place your dispenser, that is where your teammates will group up. So right now that you have like this watering hole where your teammates will go whenever they are low on health and ammo. And you gotta put that in a spot where they won't easily get blown up, destroyed, or backstabbed, or whatever with your teammates. So that's very important when it comes to building your buildings, is placing them not lag, but however, they win. Yes, victory. He definitely contributed because teleporters are fantastic. They're great. So I would say that was pretty much a standard attack engineer play where you're just in the front. There was a bit of dilly-dallying in the beginning there where he really didn't do all that much, but that's fine. I'm sure he did pick up the slack, but here, let's look at him on defense. So right now we can see that he's already, like the game has already started, it's been away, he has a setup, however his gun has been destroyed and his internet connection isn't very good, or his computer is a potato. But right now he's building in the open, so his sentry gun will be providing some fire. You can see the sentry gun helped kill this thing. Also brass piece heavy also helps, of course. And there's a spy back there. You can see that Scout was a spy, but he got found out, except the Heavy has no idea. And now you kind of have to work on the sentry. So we didn't have enough metal to get this fully to level 3, and right now it's kind of exposed. I don't really like this positioning, but you can see he's maintaining his buildings, he's doing the basics, he have everything there, and he's working on it. So then he's gonna go back and work on this, and then this gets to level 2, and that should be pretty fine. Here we have that Pyro again, killing his dispenser, which was exposed. So he's gonna build it in the exact same spot, a bit more exposed actually. So you should place buildings where they don't easily get blown up by a demo man, basically, is the tip there. So the closer you are to a corner, the worse they are. And as you can see, there's now a Huntsman sniper shooting. Oh, look at the Rescue Ranger repair. And then you have to reload and, oh, repair. Sustain. Ah, he went down. So that's one downside with, of course, the Rescue Ranger is, of course, you don't have the same infinite sustain because you have to reload the thing. And then I like what he does here. Like look at this positioning. Like this, there's no way you can salvage this. So he just stays here to do some additional damage with the Wrangler. This is gonna go down. You can see they're just waltzing in. They're not afraid. And then he's like holding the Wrangler for too long. He's being chased by Sniper, of course. Now he has to get out of this alive and actually having spent the time living, being worth living. Like he's like simulated dead. So you can look at his teleporter. He has 22 teleports, which is pretty decent. Of course, his team has no medic, so I like what he does. Dispenser first allows you to have much higher sustain than if you don't, and then you whack your buildings. Building here, fairly standard, nothing out of the ordinary here. You can see this is the group of your teammates where they group up around the dispenser. Works pretty nice. And that's why he prioritizes getting these to level 3 first, because a sentry can only do so much by itself, or even while you're wrangling it. Because it's a team enhancer and it's a choke holder. So unless you have a team to, like right now you don't have a medic, I would say if you have a medic on your team, then the sentry probably would take higher priority here, but it never hurts to have a level 3 sentry anyway. So that's pretty good. So when you build buildings, of course, you lock down areas. For those that don't know, sentries will shoot at whoever's closest, unless you're using the Wrangler. Of course, then you are taking manual control of the sentry. You can see that that requires some aim, and most people, they play engineer because they don't have aim and would rather have this do them for them. And I don't have better aim than this automated sentry turret, so I don't really like to use the Wrangler all that much. I like to think of my sentries as more of an expendable asset that I can just use. But you can see he uses it here, hits for 16, Sniper kills him. And keep in mind that if you can't see the engineer and the sentry is wrangled, just destroy the sentry. So here comes a spy! And Pyro just literally runs straight past. And then he fixes it. Of course, right now it would have been probably better to have the wrench for the repair, unless you are planning on having your buildings destroyed and rebuilding them a lot. When I use, like, I never use Jag and Wrangler at the same time, because the Wrangler just allows you to rebuild it pretty quickly. And, you know, losing a sentry isn't all that bad. So you can see that he's holding pretty well. Pyro, spy checking. So this is usually like how engineer submissions go. Like, you have your buildings, they don't get destroyed, and that's pretty much it. So this is also a pretty good spot for the dispenser, of course, because it's close to the objective where they need to be. So you can even coax clueless players into positioning themselves to places they normally wouldn't go if you put a dispenser there. So that's something to just keep in mind. So far, spy comes, saps, and this is so sad. This is so sad. Can someone play Despacito, please? Getting butter knifed. But then someone fix his sentry? Anyway, he died, and then his stuff lived, and that was that. So now, of course, we have one of the longest submissions. I'm not going to show all of it because it's 18 minutes long in real time without fast forwarding. So this is DemonizedLife, playing here on Turbine. A lot of engineers, you like to play on their capture the flag maps. So we're going to see exactly what it does. Starts with a dispenser, runs down, grabs the ammo pack, builds this here. Keep in mind that on Turbine, if the enemy team has a scout that's rushing, you will just have enough time to get a sentry in position and build it up before they go in and grab the intel. However, this is Might look like competitive 6s, but it isn't. It's just very few players on each team. So DemonizedLife has a lot of time to set up because the enemy team does not know their job is to go and get the intelligence and then run back to their base. So, working on this, getting this level 3, nice. This is his hat. Then he decides to do what most people should do, and that is just to go and see what the enemy is doing, and that is nothing. I mean, we have a bonk scout that's just kind of there, and there's really not a lot happening in the middle. So the way that this map is designed, and many capture the flag maps design, especially like 2 Fort, Turbine comes to mind, is that there's a certain chokehold that you can just put your sentry and you will cover all entrances and all exits to your base with that one sentry. So DemonizedLife decides to do a bit of turtling, like leapfrogging something. He already has a teleporter, and then he decides to build the entrance so he can teleport to the middle. Not until he works on this, of course. Would be faster with the Jag, but maybe he doesn't have it or doesn't bother. But there we go, level 3. And then he decides that he's gonna bring his trusty dispenser with full metal, gonna bring it to the middle, and we're gonna see exactly how this goes. So, there's nothing. There's literally nobody. There's you and the scout. There's no enemy present. Oh, it's just a soldier. Oh, I take it back. There is a soldier. How will we ever deal with this unstoppable force of just rockets and stuff? We have a dispenser with infinite health. We're just gonna hang around there. Soldier's gonna run into Pyro. He's on fire, and then we're gonna bang, 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 bang. Not even get an assist. So right now, your sentry is not where he needs to be. So what do you do then if you don't have your sentry with you? The answer is you will eventually destroy it and build it here. So for some tips for engineer, it's important that if you want to maximize your efficiency, this isn't so much basic, more like just intermediate stuff, is that all the buildings have a build command. I don't remember exactly what this is, but if you open the console and you go like build 0, you will build something. So my mouse 4 is built to disguise team. I mean, mouse 5 is built to sentry. And then you have mouse 3, which is build 2. So I think build 2 is sentry and 0 is dispenser, if I don't remember incorrectly. You can also do that for destroy, which allows you to pick up and build with 1 press instead of 2 presses. And in clutch situations, this will matter. However, these kind of situations are not very clutch, as the enemy just literally walk into your sentry and get blown up. But it's a good, sneaky little spot. You will get a couple of kills from this if the enemy is good, and you will get infinite kills if the enemy is shit. So then, of course, his sentry has picked up some kills. He goes and gets the Frontier Justice. That does want to do that. metnatcumkrong153@gmail.com. Doesn't know how to change his name, apparently. So we're back here, and has the enemy learned that there's a sentry in the corner? Yep, they definitely are shooting at it. Does get destroyed, and now we have juicy revenge crits. So normally what I like to do here, the few times I used to play on this back in the day, is that I put the sentry on top of the container. I'm not sure if they fixed or changed the map because I don't play Capture the Flag that much because I think it sucks. But we have DemonizedLife here, just building a sentry in the spawn. Now some more people have played or joined, and he is still just holding the middle point. Now, I would like him to just upgrade his building, because right now he's just kind of a tourist. He's just looking at stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, maybe I should upgrade this. And then we go to level 2, and then we have a dispenser here. And then he goes and sees the medic, decides to not engage. You have those precious crits. So you will also notice that the score for both teams is a big fat 0. That is because neither team is able to get into the intel room and back. And feels bad, man, when you miss those crits. Well, we had a demo for 36. I feel pretty good about ourselves there. So right now, DemonizedLife isn't maintaining his buildings as much as I would like to see. He could, get this to level 3 and just hold the middle. And that's what he could have done. So, still upgrading, eventually getting it to level 3. Let's spy, and then we spy check with the Wrangler. That's a bad idea. Oh, he's still around. Soldier. Oh, Wrangle, tank. Man, if the soldier wouldn't have switched to the disciplinary action there, he might actually have gotten the building. But Wrangler tanking is good, but it's not deceptively good. It's just, if you just keep shooting at it, you will eventually go down. Just keep in mind, when there's a Wrangled sentry, there's an engineer that can't shoot and has to look at you. Yeah, don't destroy it just to move it over there. You can pick it up and put it in the corner again. So, still holding the middle, and we're about 7 minutes in out of the 18 minutes. This I don't understand. I don't understand that kind of thinking, just standing still and looking up at the high ground instead of just, you know, moving the sentry, picking it up, and that just results in him losing everything. But he does pick up some revenge kills, and you can just plonk down buildings all over willy-nilly when you lose all your stuff. And yeah, then he kind of just goes back into spawn, and then he builds in the intel room, and he just turtles back, and then eventually dies like 10 minutes in. So that is usually how most engineer demos go. Fairly standard. So at least everyone was on an equal playing field there. Yes. So let's move on to the next demo. It's going to be none other than Karma's Camera, who is going to be playing Gunslinger Engineer on King of the Hill with Pyrovision, apparently. There we go, he switched off and now he's a cop. Just had the Eureka effect to get the reduced teleporter health thing. And then of course he's gonna build mini sentry and of course a dispenser near the little rock there. That's like the most common place. It's on the low ground, offers protection. He hasn't put it down just yet. And there he does, now he does. Enemy team is capping the point and he's now a couple of revenge crits. So far his loadout is working pretty well for him. 7 health. You see we have 4 engineers and a medic. And we're gonna group the dispensers together. Normally not a good idea, but you know, if the enemy team has no explosive classes and don't blow them up, then sure, why not? Then he assists getting this heavy. This heavy is pretty much weak. So let's see how he handles team logistics. It's probably not that important when you're not holding the point, but when you are holding the point like they are now, it's very important to have teleporters to get your teammates faster to the front because of the increased respawn time. So he builds it down here in the house, goes back, he has 4 revenge crits, a bit low on the metals because he has another engineer that is leeching off his buildings. Just keep in mind this metal ammo thing is reserved. And then, there we go, a 3rd crit is the charm, because isn't that just the truth when you have crits in your Frontier Justice and you just can't hit anything? So then he avoids snipers by looking up in the sky and moving very unpredictably. Pretty good. We put down a little sentry there. And then we meet a couple of heavies. Take out one of them. Use the area for advantage. Keep in mind that you can put sentries in front of you to just soak some damage or block someone's path. If you are holding a building and you start to get shot, just drop the building immediately. I would say that is pretty good. So now he only has like a level 1 teleporter, but they have, you know, 4 engineers. So I'm guessing there's 2 teleporters. So I guess they are good and they're still holding the point. So when you're a Gunslinger engineer, you can also assist other engineers in building stuff up. Another cool little trick you can do is to use your body as a shield. Just stand in front of the gun and absorb and hit. Very useful when you are doing like a level 3 sentry cheese where you're building a building in their base. And of course there's an enemy sniper that is causing some havoc. But then you can just sit back here and repair all day if you have a metal supply. This is the super engineer strat. Just sit crouched behind your gun and hammer it forever. If you've ever seen bots do that, that's what they do all day. They just sit behind the sentry and they whack it. And it's deceptively strong because most players won't commit to sitting behind the sentry and just repairing that much, even when they're taking damage themselves. But if you just commit, you'll be surprised how much you can churn out of your sentry in terms of effectiveness and damage and just being a pain in the ass. Moving mini sentries around there, they're very dangerous. So as for basics, he is building buildings. He has all of them. He isn't maintaining as 100% as I would like to see because his teleporter is still level 1, but then again they have 4 engineers, so I'll let that slide. So he's currently locking down some areas, and that areas are the entire point. They have 2 level 3s next to each other, and we haven't seen a single demo or soldier out of the enemy team actually doing anything, or a spy for that matter. So the enemy, oh, there's the spy, but he sucks. So I mean, Turan Hemilitali 1D994. Not exactly the best spy. And there we go, victory. He wins, 19 points, good for him. Play the ear. What happened? What did I turn on the magnifier? What? Okay, it probably didn't show up on stream. I did. Anyway, that was that. So let's go on to the last demo. It's actually going to be a super short episode. And that is going to be me. Because, you know, engineer, it's just... like, the basics of engineer are pretty simple, but, like, it's the details that take time. Like, where to build, how to build, what to do, when to do it, stuff like that. So this is on 5CP, where I'm using the Eureka effect. And as you can see, Amadeus, who used to submit a lot of stuff, one of our moderators, he's actually on the other team. So I actually have some competent enemies. So Eureka effect, I really like this on 5CP. So right now I'm building all the buildings in one spot, doesn't matter. This is, I'm not sure how long this was in the game, but I feel fine that my buildings will be able to work there unhindered. And then you can see I kind of just sack my sentry just to shoot the guy with the shotgun, and then I rebuild it instantly. And then we work on the buildings. They took some damage, that's fine. And then work on the teleporters, because in 5CP teleporters are super duper important, and they work really well with the Eureka effect. See the Eureka effect video for more tips on how to use this weapon properly. And then of course there's a spy sapping all the stuff, and because I have the Eureka effect, the dispenser is the key target here. I tried to save this, but it won't be saved, that's fine. So then we're gonna have to build an entrance soon, but we can teleport back to the spawn and then build it. But my exit needs to be ready, so instead I'm gonna work on this level 3 and just secure this point. There we go. This thing is ready. Just gonna upgrade this, go back to spawn, and then we put this down here, and then we teleport back to the exit while the entrance builds in our spawn. And now we have all the buildings, and we're gonna work on the dispenser, getting that up to level 3 as well. So right now, I'm kind of a bit too far back than I should be. I should really be a bit further in the front helping, but every time I moved up in the past, my buildings would get destroyed. So this is kind of like the gray area where you kind of have to time it perfectly with your team to go. And also, like, people know where health packs are and might discover your dispenser location later. So there we go, level 3. The fence is looking strong. This thing needs to get to level 3 as well. Try to avoid standing on teleporters in case you get telefragged. So right now I'm locking down this area, providing team logistics, maintaining my buildings, and it's really up to my team to win. We have a couple of medics who don't have a heavy, so then I decide, you know what? Oh, is that a spy? He's very conspicuous, but I'm gonna drop my building down here. Spy check. Oh no, it's just a friendly spy, and then a scout. Cool cowboy 420. Destroys my teleporter entrance. So then we decide to put this down here. And now Amadeus notices that I'm here, and then a pyro runs in, and I'm in the middle of menus, and he just destroys everything. Try to rebuild a sentry, and I need some protection, and you should help me. I need, okay, so everything here is just gone to shit, and they're capping. I'm like, fine, I'm gonna put this back here. We lost all the buildings, and now we have to rebuild. It ain't that a bitch. So we tried to be a bit more cheeky, and now we're on fire. Going back to spawn, put this up, upgrade. Teleporter exit got destroyed, so now we have to run back, and now we lost everything again, and now they're capping, and yeah, we're not gonna be able to stop that, so we put the teleporter down here, put down a sentry to occupy this space, just like, we won't be able to cover the right door, but definitely the left somehow, and then we go back to the spawn, and then we build a teleporter entrance here. Work on this. You can see the exit isn't done yet, so we're gonna have to there we go. As soon as it's done, I teleport to the wrong place, because I hit the wrong key, I hit the wrong key again. Now I'm where I need to be. And then I also like using the pistol, just for damage. And now, of course, we have recapped the point, so the spawn had been moved forward, so I've got to destroy the entrance and build this again. There we go, okay, here. Work on this. Work. And there we go. Building this here for change, and then we're gonna put the dispenser, we're gonna mix it up. I'm not gonna build in the exact same spot every single time. And then we're gonna mix up the teleporter to have it here. It's kind of, well, a bit better protected. And also keep in mind with the Eureka effect, you can teleport to it if it's being zapped. And back to spawn, press the loadout key, get your metal back, and then work on this. So right now we're just trying to get a steady stream of teleporters and allow our team to going forward. We now have 3 medics. We have a heavy that got killed somehow, and then we're gonna work on the dispenser. But we like it's really tricky. You can see like to have the buildings in the spot where they're most needed. And I think that was Amadeus, and he's gonna destroy my sentry, but my dispenser stays alive. I'm gonna rebuild my sentry there, and then work on this, get this to level 2, and then eventually try and moving forward, see if we can get this here in this little choke area. And then we're gonna bring out the, oh, there's Amadeus again. Ha, you died! Bad. Died badly. So we're just gonna have a little forward sentry here. Gonna work on this in case it takes damage. We're just not gonna bother with wrangling it. We're just gonna go in and try to use the sentry as an extension of our arm instead of like making it our main weapon. And then we're just gonna stay here and repair for a bit. I'm out of ammo. Medic heals me. You can see it is providing some health, and then of course this was sapped, so we go back this, and then we can also teleport back to the top here because we're lazy. Lazy-nears. Gun gets taken out. Pyro wants my dispenser. Gets it. You can see. Have you seen how many times I've lost my buildings? But we're still holding. Kind of. Still didn't manage to push through and win that thing, but we're still alive after all that. We haven't died yet, so we're gonna get a dispenser up here. So all this need is just some protection until it finishes, and then we're gonna destroy the sentry and build it here. Hope to God no one comes in. Oh, yep, someone came. Someone came, and then we get stabbed by Amadeus. What a dick. Spy. Stupid. They have like a weapon that's only designed to sap our shit. So that was the engineer basics. Pretty forward stuff. It's a straightforward class. Build buildings, maintain buildings, lock down areas, and team logistics. Like keep helping with that. So that was just some examples of that. It's harder to, like I said, to be more specific with engineer because there's a whole YouTube channel dedicated to it that gives decent tips on what to do as engineer. So for next week, we are going to do medic basics. There's no competition or anything like that this time around. It's just medic. You can do whatever medigun loadout unlocks, whatever you so desire. You just got to show us the basics of medic for better or for worse, and we'll see if we can't use that to help. So, for those of you watching the live stream, we will be doing a bit of the balance mod playtest session. We have buffed the gas passer to be usable now, so we're just going to tweak the damage numbers to see if we can get it right. So stay tuned after the stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to check the Steam group when we are doing other play sessions as well. And there's also a raffle in the description as well, which will be available in the stream chat very soon. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the medic episode.